Okay, and here's our tree. Really clean edges. You know, I really like this machine. Okay, so then that only thing that really leaves is a nestability. Okay, guys, this is a little bit of trial and error. Definitely you need all of your tabs down. It's a thin die. You're going to need your base plate. I have found to use the magnetic spacer plate. You know, this thing is 10 bucks. You can use a craft magnet. You know, you can get on a roll for like $1.99. This happens to be about, you know, a little bit thinner. You're going to plop that down with the magnetic side up. I'll try and get this in camera. So, okay, here's all our tabs. Here's our acrylic plate. Here's our magnetic spacer. We're going to get a die. And just so it can be nice and big. Now, depending on how you're going to put this down is what you're going to wind up with. So, see, it's just magnetized. It's so cool. You're going to put your paper on top. And sometimes, even with all of that, you do need an extra piece of cardstock as a shim. You have to try it. And then we're going to put our other piece of acrylic on top. So that's the multi-purpose platform with all the tabs down, your base acrylic cutting plate, the Spellbinder's magnetic spacer plate, your paper, and your top acrylic. There's your sandwich. We're going to run it through. Okay, guys, there's one thing I want to mention with Spellbinder's dies. It is very tight to run through there, but you do need all that. So you might be pushing your lever, you know, like this, instead of cranking freely. But it did cut and it did emboss because at the same time, because of the way I put it through the machine. Okay, so we're going to lift it up. See? Now, it's a little wrinkly. If it's just too tight for you, you could come back to tab 1 and then do the same thing. I don't know if you can see that embossed edge, but there's your die cut. It also does a pretty nice negative because it, you know, it debosses the negative. So that wasn't that quick, but I really encourage you, you know, if you're looking for a system that you don't want to spend, you know, 200 bucks for a Cricut or, you know, whatever your one of choice is. The Sizzix Big Shot I have found to be really great. You know, there's also one other thing I wanted to mention. They have different types of plates. So this one does this unit that comes with your machine, you know, the 2 acrylics and the multi-purpose platform, that does things that are, you know, this wide. Well, they have ones like, what I'm thinking of is the, they sell the Tim Holtz film strip die, so it's narrow. Well, they sell a different type of spacer that is narrow and long that you can use with those dies. So in order to do those, you know, properly, you do need that because the die is longer than this plate, than the one that comes with it. Hang on just a second. Now, I don't have the narrow one, but I do have one that looks like this. And this is huge. It's hard. This is an extra long Biggs die. Okay. Actually, I have 2 of them. I have one that does a pocketbook and I have one that does a gingerbread house. It's really hard to see on the camera. It's like the size of 2 Biggs dies put together. So in order to do those, you do need the extra long cutting acrylics. Thankfully, they're only doing them in Biggs. so they're not thin. But the thing I was just mentioning for the film strip die looks more like this white, but it's long and narrow, and I unfortunately don't have those. So it's all about shims. I hope you pursue it, the machine. You know, if you don't mind, you know, if you want the fancy black one, you know, talk to a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. They have some Stampin' Up! Exclusive dies that are just really awesome. If that's your style, you know, you get the same things. If you really want to economize, you know, like I did, take a look for that red and white machine. It does absolutely everything that the black ones do. And this technique, you know, the Cuttlebug, which is also a very affordable option. It just opens up this way, a little more compact. It takes you don't have the ability to do a lot of these longer plates in that machine, but you can do embossing folders. You can do regular size. I have no idea if you can do a big die or not, because I didn't go that route, but, you know, made by Provocraft, a good product, usually more affordable. I think that I did a little research before I bought mine, and, you know, I used that coupon, and I got my machine, my original machine for, you know, I think I spent $40 on it, and, you know, it retailed for $99.99, so here's how I judge it. Have I gotten $40 worth of fun out of it? Absolutely. And you can too. So talk to your demo, go check it out in the stores. Basically, here's another Nestabilities type die. This is labels. See how many you get? This one was 5. But I mean, for $12.50, pretty good. You know, they kind of range, and they'll say you can cut it, you can emboss it, you can stencil it, you can do, you know, multiple things. A lot of these little brass plates I'm seeing now on sale a lot of places for $1. Check it out. It's a really fun way to add texture to your projects. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I won't kid you, the dies take storage, and actually Stampin' Up! Was the front runner, and that I've seen for storing big dies. They have some things in the catalog, you know, which are cases, which are, you know, if you really love them, you can buy those and store them. Speaking of storage, I can tell you, I have a little cart that's behind me. It's hard for me to move the camera. It was one of those paper carts, you know, it's kind of low. My Big Shot sits on that cart, and I cut right on it. It's stable enough. In the bottom of that cart, I have some photo boxes, and in the photo boxes, I have my big dies standing up. They're all labeled on the edges, so I can look in those photo boxes and tell, okay, this is my Tim Holtz Alterations Tattered Floral die. The Sizzlits, this size, was more of a challenge. You know, I'm always thrifty, so what did I do? I got a $1 photo album that had 100 pages in it. Let me get it. One of these guys, 100 photo pockets. Now, it does get bulky. It doesn't really shut after a while. But inside here, and it does come off the binding. I've had to score tape it. But in each pocket, I have my Sizzlet dies. And if you flip them so you're looking at the foam side, you can tell what your image is. Like here's a heart and flowers and swirls. And, you know, I found that to be the cheapest way possible that I can find to do my Sizzlets. They have binders that they sell. They have little pockets that they sell. There's a million versions. I don't find that I need to spend that money. I would rather have more dies. But that's just me. So thanks for watching, guys. I know this got lengthy. I'm going to have to split it into 2 parts. I'm going to put a posting to my blog of, you know, this typed out in words, the best that I can. So that if you want to, maybe I'll just make a PDF file on the sandwich, and that you can download, and you can catch that over at my blog, and that's paper and scissors rock -laurel LAUREL, that's my first name, .blogspot.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.